Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It is Thursday, June the 19th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
Obviously, we're disappointed with the result. It's not what we wanted, but I'm proud of this team.
One day after the Oilers came up short in the Stanley Cup Final, the Moss Pit is getting its now customary cleanse post-playoffs. The mood here is reflective, somber, but not sad.
The team did great. They hammered hard and tried to put it away, but we did our best effort, and hopefully next year we can take it.
They got somewhere, and that's good, but then they kind of lost it, but it's okay. We all lose some to win some.
Seeing the new generation with the little kids with the McDavid jerseys on, we're all on the same team here looking for the same outcome.
Inside Ice District's Oilers store, merchandise is still moving despite last night's result.
What exactly are you picking up today?
Well, it's an Oilers Margaritaville hoodie.
Nice,
yes, yes, two of my favorite things in the world.
Fans remembering the connections they made.
To see the number of people that were down here for every game, we home and away, it's inspiring to see that many people coming out.
Forget those daily conflicts for a while. We're all pulling for the team. We're all pulling in the same direction.
Many say the mood the playoffs made shouldn't be discounted just because of how it ended or the consequences of a lost mayoral bet.
I would have to, unfortunately, wear Panthers jersey once again.
Do you at the very least just get to take the old one out of storage?
Oh well, we put the old one into the museum yesterday, right? You know?
So there'll be two there.
Yeah.
Looking back, while the Oilers didn't make it all the way, people we spoke to say the playoffs have brought people together.
Like, coming down here has just been like being like you're part of a family. Like, these guys behind me, everyone, like, you high five everyone, just jumping when we score. It's just amazing every time you come down here.
Leaving Edmontonians a little closer than they were before. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
I am at the Atlas Tube Recreation Center in the room where the Stanley Cup made an appearance just 1 year ago. Now, will Aaron Ekblad bring it back? We'll soon find out. But in the meantime, I did speak with a former NHLer who won back-to-back Stanley Cups and tells us how hard that is to do in the salary cap era. I also spoke with a former Oiler who now works for the team. And while he's sad that the Cup is not coming back to Canada, he is happy for the guy he used to skate with during the off-season.
I was pretty upset about the loss, but I was very happy about his individual success, and he's making Windsor proud.
Bell River's Aaron Ekblad is a Stanley Cup champion for the second straight year. Ekblad said his brother couldn't be in Florida for Game 7 last June, so winning with his brother in attendance in Florida was special.
He's a special human and a special person for me, and, just to have him there was really awesome for me.
Florida head coach and former Windsor Spitfire Paul Maurice thought his veterans allowing the first-year guys to skate with the Cup after captain Alexander Barkov was awesome.
The awareness of each other. All of those guys who touched it first, it was their first Cup, so that's what makes these men special.
Ekblad received the Cup from Dmitry Kulikov in what he describes as a special moment.
A guy I really respect, an awesome father, an awesome friend, a teammate, and just somebody I really respect. So
Florida became the third team in the salary cap era, which began in 2005, to repeat as champs following Tampa Bay in 2021 and Pittsburgh in 16-17.
Probably one of the hardest things, or the hardest trophy in sports to win. So winning it once is an incredible achievement, but winning it twice and back-to-back is almost impossible.
Former Spitfire Tom Kuhnhackl won back-to-back with the Penguins and relived his experience while watching Tuesday's Cup clincher.
Fortunate enough to be in an organization with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and then winning the Stanley Cup back-to-back is something you'll obviously never forget, and I still think about it, thinking it's a dream.
Florida forward Matthew Tkachuk feels the Panthers are a dynasty, having made it to 3 straight Cup finals. Edmonton now has made it to 2 straight without a win, but former Oiler Zach Kassian doesn't feel Edmonton's window of opportunity has closed.
Obviously, there's a lot of hard work and a long road ahead, but if there's a team that can do it, Edmonton's one of them, and I don't think it's too far-fetched, because if you look at the Florida Panthers, they just did it. So,
while it's a tad too early to talk about bringing the Stanley Cup back here to Essex County, Lakeshore Mayor Tracy Bailey does say that she looks forward to speaking to the family and perhaps making that happen. In Lakeshore, Bob Belichico, CTV News.
He's looking at DNA attached to a kidney protein, and this is something that Logan Seir uses to identify genetic disorders. For the last 10 months, he's been passionate about biology.
A DNA mutation, it could either just be a mutation that makes the DNA not function as it otherwise would, that just occurs randomly and you just get unlucky.
Seir is looking to even the playing field through genetic editing, replacing a defective gene with one that works, and it could be used anywhere in the body.
If you could control how your brain develops during development, everyone would just have equally functional brains. Nobody would need to have like a memory disorder or be prone to Alzheimer's or anything like that that's just due to getting unlucky while you're developing. It could all just be streamlined and everyone would have the same chance at life.
He's focused on kidneys right now because his mom was born with just one, and that one failed in 2019. She's been in hospital since last November.
This is actually the 6th time she's gone in, and this time it was to get a new kidney, but it did not work. And she's been kind of put back, and after the incision she just hasn't fully recovered yet.
The 16-year-old is in grade 11 at the STEM Innovation Academy, but is one of close to 70 students at the Knowledge Society that's helping him reach his goals.
We are the top youth innovation program for students who are between the ages of 13 and 18 years old, still in high school or middle school. And we help students work on projects that they're really passionate about, excited about.
Seir says genetic research is advancing rapidly, and the work he's doing is extremely advanced. And he's focused because he wants to find solutions to help others.
I'd say every few hours you could search something up, and if it was the right thing on the right day, the answer would change depending to your search results, depending on the day.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
And we've provided more information about the...
3, 2, 1. It's payday! Nothing's gonna stop the sun from shining, and nothing's gonna stop this beautiful day.
Alan Doyle is back on stage in Charlottetown, starring, singing, and yes, even dancing in the musical Telltale Harbor.
You should come see it, because if it goes well, it'll be amazing. Most likely it probably won't go well, and it will be even more amazing.
The show first premiered at the Charlottetown Festival in 2022, where it smashed box office records. Now it's back, bigger and better.
In 2022, because of COVID and all this stuff, like, we had about 100 ideas for the show, and we got to do about 50 of them. And this one, we're getting to do about 97 of them.
Hello, I'm Paul.
Terrific. Based on the film The Grand Seduction, the musical follows a tiny fishing town on a mission to recruit a doctor, and the elaborate lengths they go to make him stay.
And Frank, the guy I play, convinces the town that they can convince this young visiting doctor that this little tiny fishing town is the place that he should spend the rest of his life. And hijinks and hilarity ensue.
The music? Doyle says it's heavily influenced by his Newfoundland roots, along with the rest of the East Coast.
When I started touring around with Great Big Sea, you know, and seeing like the Rankins and seeing, you know, the different kinds of music that existed in the other maritime provinces, that all feeds into it as well.
Telltale Harbor is already drawing in fans from far and wide, including one very famous face who made a surprise visit at one of the preview shows this week. Russell Crowe.
It was really nice. It was great, you know, to have him. It was really nice for the other cast, of course, who've never met Russell and the star that big and stuff. But it was also just like as a bud, you know, it was really sweet to have that kind of support.
Raise our voices together. It's now or it's never.
Doyle says this gig is driving him outside his comfort zone, and he's loving the ride.
I'm 56, you know, and it's like, it'd be really easy just to rest on your laurels and to, you know, go sing, you know, the same old songs and stuff. But I'm still so curious about learning how to do new things and to do fun stuff.
Telltale Harbor officially opens Saturday at the Charlottetown Festival and runs until August 29th.
To be honest with you, and what I've been telling people is, I'll get in trouble for saying this, but what else? I always say, like, what's it like in PEI? And some man, it's amazing. They got beaches, they got, you know, seafood, they got, like, you know, music and stuff. It's like, it's amazing. It's almost as good as Newfoundland.
For you.
One man's church is another man's treasure, or at least that's what artists in Waterloo Region are hoping for.
So St. Columba can unlock all of that potential.
St. Columba Anglican Church in Waterloo has sat empty for several months, but the community wants to turn it into a creative hub.
It's an incredible opportunity for the artists, for the neighborhood, and for the community at large.
Alex Glass is the executive director of Arts Build Ontario, a Kitchener-based nonprofit organization that provides free or low-rent space for artists in the area.
We have 50 artists on our roster who are looking for space.
That search leading to Lincoln Road. Back in February, the City of Waterloo purchased the church for $2.9 million, with a plan to use the site for local arts programming before eventually turning it into affordable housing.
It's community supported, it's community initiated.
But on Monday, Council deferred the decision to sign a 3-year lease with Arts Build, citing cost concerns.
Well, we chose in February to dip into reserve funds. The question now is, was that the right thing to do?
Those who live in the area say yes.
I think it would be an ideal spot for that, for the artists regionally and for the community as a whole.
Artists like Jen Pryor agree.
There's a huge need for it. I can't even tell you how many creatives I know that just don't have access to space.
With the help of Arts Build, Pryor moved into a downtown Kitchener studio a few months ago.
In that time, I've created probably 15 or so paintings, so it's been a really great experience for me.
But she says cities need to step up and support the arts.
I think the arts community here is really vibrant, and we just really need more spaces for us to come together and to create as well.
The fate of St. Columba is on the City of Waterloo's agenda for Monday. Glass says she's hopeful council comes to a decision and artists can start moving in here soon. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Waterloo.
Women's sports have seen a surge in support from the launch of the PWHL to the much anticipated arrival of the WNBA's expansion into Canada with the Toronto Tempo. But there is more room to grow.
It's still such an emerging market, particularly in Canada, but we've seen incredible momentum.
The third annual ESPNW Summit Canada brought people from across the country to help continue the conversation to elevate women and girls in all levels of sport.
Women's sport is an ecosystem, and I think from the grassroots all the way up to professional, it's important to help foster that.
Guest speakers from Olympic athletes to broadcasters and business owners share their stories and how we can all continue to help level the playing field.
We have to keep it going because we still need that support. We still need the education. We still need the financial support. We still need the fans, and we still need to grow it at the grassroots level. So conversations like this, days like this, are so critically important.
With a major focus on growing support for young athletes.
The pro teams are amazing, and it took so long to get those pro teams here, but we also need to remember the bottom levels and how that needs to grow fans, leaders of the future.
For those who weren't able to attend the summit today, you can visit their website, espnwsummitcanada.ca, to watch each of the guest speakers. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
When Skye Olette posted a video of herself dancing to a Tate McRae song, she didn't think much of it. But when it caught the eye of a respected choreographer and director in Los Angeles, it started a journey.
A couple months after I posted it, this girl named Menina Fortunato commented on it, and then I just started following her. We started DMing each other, then she invited me to join her program called The Business of Dance.
On top of her studies, Olette has been taking online courses to learn about the business side of dance in Hollywood, and her performance there got noticed too.
She saw how good I was doing in it, and she gave me a $500 scholarship to the Hollywood Summer Tour.
While in Los Angeles, she'll be training with industry professionals and studios, getting a behind-the-scenes look at the entertainment industry.
I will have like photo shoots, red carpet walks, and music videos, and talent agency showcases that, and like be on TV, that hopefully it will take me far in my career.
Skye's parents were hesitant at first, but they see her passion and the opportunity that lays ahead of her.
Something that we're really looking forward to is the agencies that are going to be there, and she's going to be able to have seminars, like information seminars with them. They're going to walk her through the ins and outs of the industry, and then she'll be able to showcase her talents in front of them. While
it's the opportunity of a lifetime, it's also an expensive trip in an already expensive sport. So her family is raising funds in a variety of ways, including a GoFundMe, a Facebook auction, and a hip-hop class taught by Skye.
We are working hard in lots of other areas, like our bottle drives has been huge. We've been going out most nights, in our neighborhood. It's been a small unit, just the 5 of us in a minivan.
And while she has plans of performing at Madison Square Garden or the O2 Arena, she knows it's going to take hard work, patience, and time.
If you don't have any of those 3, then you will just not go anywhere because there's no such thing as getting famous overnight.
John Flatters, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Canadian country music star Andrew Hyatt admits he sometimes has trouble hitting the golf ball.
It's pretty rough so far.
But at the Jason Blaine Charity Golf Classic, Hyatt hits all the right notes when it matters. And it was a smash hit Wednesday as Pembroke's hometown hero Jason Blaine returned for his 11th annual charity golf fundraiser.
It makes my heart happy just to everybody, that continues to come back, the love and the support for this event. Everybody rallies around the music, and that's what it's all about, man. Just pouring back to the hometown that has been cheering me on my whole career.
Currently living in Nashville, Tennessee, Blaine returns to the Ottawa Valley each summer, raising money for organizations that are pillars in the community.
It's honestly really humbling. We've got a waiting list of people to put teams in on this event since year one. And most of our sponsors, like I'd say 90% of our sponsors, have been with us since day one.
Jason's a buddy, and just seeing that his heart is still in the community, seeing that he wants to give back. Also just seeing the community come together is great. I've been here, this is my third year that I've been here, and every year just great people. They come and they support, and it's a good thing.
In 11 years, this event has raised more than $1 million for the Pembroke community, money that goes directly to organizations like BGC Pembroke and the Pembroke Hospital.
It's a very big day. We're super happy to be involved with it. Jason Blaine, last year they actually provided enough funds for a resuscitaire. So that is kind of a warming/breathing machine for babies.
We see the need growing even more. So many various groups are doing amazing projects, and we're really trying to support as many as we can.
Blaine and his band of Canadian artists hoping to crack the $140,000 mark this year.
Feeling great about it, man. I always love coming out. It's a good cause, get to play golf, play some tunes. There's no better day than that.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News, Pembroke.
At the On Rock Community Services on the West Island, the stocks of food are low and barely keeping up with demand.
We've never run out, but we have been in a place where we walk around with a bit of a worried face, wondering if we're going to make it this week.
The organization's president, Kim Reed, says his food bank helps around 300 families in and around Pierrefonds. But every week he sees new faces.
1 week we had 17 registrations.
Limited supply means more of these signs go up. Food insecurity is a national crisis. Data from Food Banks Canada shows more than 2 million people visit a food bank each month, numbers that have never been seen before.
So the stat that really keeps me up at night is that 30% of food banks ran out of food last year before they could meet their community's needs.
In Montreal, the first ever Food Insecurity Summit took place. Stakeholders from across Canada gathered to find solutions as food banks are reaching their limits and facing a perfect storm, a rise in the cost of living, a lack of supplies, along with increased hunger.
But the rate that we're seeing the increase right now is going to be unsustainable in the long term.
The goal, to cut food insecurity by half in the next 5 years.
But we also need to look long term at reducing the number of people who need food banks in the first place, and that's going to take government policy and government actions.
There's no band-aid solution, she says, but a collective effort will be needed from governments, corporations, nonprofits, and individuals. Back at On Rock Community Services, they take it day by day.
It's another one of those up and down things where sometimes we're doing great and other times we're riding the ragged edge of disaster.
A disaster he hopes never comes. Sweeta Rassi, CTV News.
Provincially, in 2023, they had 1,800 cases of Lyme disease, just over that figure, and that's gone up about sixfold over a decade.
Ticks, small bugs that can pack a severe punch if latched onto your skin over a long period of time.
Lyme disease is a bacterial infection transmitted by a tick, black-legged tick to be precise.
Becoming more common over the last 2 to 3 decades, with 47 cases in Simcoe, Muskoka in 2024. Symptoms include a rash, fever, muscle aches, and pains, and become more severe if not monitored or treated.
If it remains longer, 30 days or more, you can end up with paralysis of the lower portion of your face, something we call a Bell's palsy that can be on one side or both sides.
If a tick is latched on, get tweezers and pinch it off without killing the bug. If a tick is latched on for more than 24 hours, seek medical attention. While cases in people increase, veterinarians are also seeing an increase in Lyme disease in dogs.
The percent of tick transmitted disease that we're seeing this year has increased probably about 400% over what we saw in previous years.
Due to a warming climate, ticks are becoming more common and larger. Unlike humans who can show signs of symptoms, they are more difficult to see on dogs.
The symptoms could vary anywhere from your pet just not feeling well. We might notice a fever, we might notice joint swelling or lameness.
Carefully monitor your pet if walking in long grass and heavy brush.
The most common place that you're going to find ticks are around the face, neck, feet area. If you know that your pet has had a tick bite, a tick exposure, remove the tick right away, and then about 6 to 8 weeks later, bring your pet in for blood testing.
Officials are saying to be proactive when it comes to ticks by covering your arms and legs. If you do find a tick, whether on a person or on a pet, you are being asked to take a picture of it so it can be identified in your region. For details on how to do that, you can head on over to our website. Luke Simard, CTV News, Barrie.
Regina's Pasqua Hospital hosted a garden party this morning. The event is an effort to raise awareness about cancer research and also create a safe space for those impacted by the illness and their loved ones. Guests enjoyed a live band and various speakers. Attendees were also invited to tie a ribbon onto the cancer survivor arch at the garden's entrance. Each ribbon represents a different type of cancer.
But many people coming here are so focused on the hospital and the cancer agency, they really don't even know there's a garden here, even if they've been here for daily treatments for cancer. So this garden is meant to be a place of quiet, but also a place of just beauty.
Fro himself is a prostate cancer survivor who runs a support group for others diagnosed with the disease.
Gareth Godin never imagined he'd make a connection across the ocean when he made an unexpected discovery on the beach.
The poor thing looked cold, so I went to grab it, and my family's, don't touch it, it could be like a puppy's filthy stuffy.
It was a bunny slumped on a stump.
Well, there's even more reason to grab it if it's a puppy's.
Although the beach was empty of pets or people,
it was a mystery.
Gareth's mind was full of possible ways to reunite the rabbit with its owner and posed it for pictures.
Propping her up with the sunset behind her was the least I could do for her dignity and well-being.
Then the professional artist created a series of cartoons showing where the bunny was found, how it must be feeling, and finally, a plea for help.
So let's find a home for it. We need a miracle.
Gareth shared the images on social media before the post eventually reached a family who'd been visiting from Australia.
And we couldn't find Bunny anywhere, could we?
Andrew says his daughter Violet had been burying her brother in the sand before leaving the beach in tears because the driftwood she'd been playing with had floated away.
And she needed her bunny to comfort her because she was so sad. I said, oh no, where's Bunny?
It was the first time since she'd been born that the 2.5-year-old had been separated from the bunny she named Flopsy.
We didn't think we'd ever see the bunny again.
So when they saw that Flopsy had been found and has now made the long journey back home to Australia, they couldn't be more grateful that Gareth cared for it so creatively in Canada.
It was beautiful. She was very, very excited.
And knowing that Violet and Flopsy have reunited on the other side of the world has made Gareth feel over the moon.
So hope that Flopsy and Flopsy's master have a great life together, and they tell the story often.
A story set across the sea that reminds us when all feels lost.
And then I was lost at the beach.
Like our bunny lost at the beach.
And I was finding it.
To never give up hope of finding what we're looking for. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Oak Bay.